William Ole Ntimama. The search for the next Chief Justice, Professor Makau Mutua, is on the hot seat today. And of course, the impeachment motion at the Senate of Nyeri County Governor Nderitu Gachagua, among other stories. My name is Akisa Wandera. Many thanks for staying with us. Good afternoon. Now, controversial law scholar Professor Makau Mutua was this morning interviewed for the position of Chief Justice. Professor Makau was interviewed on a variety of issues touching on his suitability to become the head of the judiciary, the fight against corruption in the judiciary, reforms were among highlights of what they sought to know of what he would do when he gets to the helm of the judiciary. Take a look.
Mr. Professor, you will agree with me that Article 166 deals with the appointment of the Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice, and other judges.
Yes.
Article 166(2).
All right, we'll get back to that and tell you how the interview went of Professor Makau Mutua before the Judicial Service Commission. Now, the funeral service of former Minister William Ole Ntimama is currently underway at his home in Narok County. President Uhuru Kenyatta, former President Daniel Arap Moi, and CORD Principal Raila Odinga are among top leaders attending the service. Let's now cross over there to Narok County live, where the service is taking place, and we will later be talking to our reporter Victor Ogale to give us details on how the proceedings are. But let's just take a look at how it's going down in Narok County.
Medu yake Maasai ambonga Kenya nyi amengo binyi ne bala makabila to na kabila ya tamalisa nyinyi kama utakuwa makabila anta altonganak wongore ngobenye unachunga ardhi yenu ambao nimesaliwa na Mungu alipewa nyinyi. Na kama nyinyi hapana angalia, sitafiaga na watu wengine ambao adui ambao iko dunia hii. Kenya, si Kenya tu iko adui au ni nini? Na ikiongea lazima asikie muongozi wenu ambao ni nani. Na nipe mtu nafasi yake wakati alichukua. Ikitaka kuondoa wakati ya kura, ondoa. Lakini wakati amechukua, tunzeni muongozi wenu. Nipa heshima, nipa amani katika Kenya. Tafadhali. Mimi ni mzee, mimi ndio mkubwa wa yeye. Na nimbafuata. Ni watoto wangu. Na kio mwana ngai, pia maito odoram, si mimi tu ndio ambao wanajua kuongea, lakini kama iko nafasi ambao wanaweza kutafutia mimi aongea na nyinyi muongozi wetu, kwa sababu nyinyi hajashikana kwa pamoja, na ikikuwa lazima hii Kenya utaendelea. Ndashukuru. Nabo kayo unashonda olesere niko mwana ngaya glakong negarajala ala shalai to ngo to inaisha kwa amani upendo.
Wale angasin nyao mon jo orientai bogin anta soba bogin anta soba lo shala bogin anta soba lo shambo no tie ni gidi wore ntogi na jogin tai ka jogin tai wore yo ki tie ni gidi karola la sadara na le gwana nya mishara kubes na ke yelo do ni nye le moy ya mun nya bala te gelwa anya ka sina nu to ja jingi ne na sho oringa mata kara singa Nati da nagata na kwa na ibungeta na kwa wata nagata. Yeto kiriki loriri. Wale ntoki na jogi ndai. Kao mwana ndai jogi ya she yetu. Neka dali ndai. Amwira rol ningopo nerara la Kenya. Nerara dolbonga na kwa ara mati to shia gana kop. Na mwana ndai jogi nte ntoki na bo. Mati ntoki na bo bo wakini. Amore da nagata na kwa pete nikiti yeni. Mea danyor ki mojino balashi. Ore be jara oltung'ani adamir kimojino jilikiti osesen tanakata teleki mojino bo. Meeta naas. Ore enkibung'a apa naibung'a Kenyatta enakop neibung' iloshon pookin aiturrur apik orkuo lenye ninye ake kiyieu. Ore enaibung'a tanakata ole Moi ninye ake kiyieu. Nejia tanakata etiu kulo kulikae arikok otii ene. Enyeita embung'a enkop inye entaa nabo. Aomon ntae ajoki tenelotu tanakata ore esiai enaang' ele payian oshi kinchiyie taata yiok. Naa ore kinchiyie kalimu ajoki ntae enyeita ng'uraki sii ntae enkong'u.
Elders there addressing the gathering during the funeral service of the late former Minister William Ole Ntimama, who died on the night of 1st September. And in attendance we have former President Daniel Arap Moi, who's accompanied by his son, Baringo County Senator Gideon Moi. We also have President Uhuru Kenyatta, who has attended that service, called Principal Raila Odinga, some of the dignitaries that have made way to Narok County to give their last respects to the former Minister William Ole Ntimama, who was well perceived among the Maasai community as their king or the de facto leader of those in the Maasai community for years. Now, William Ole Ntimama died on the night of 1st September, just after the solar eclipse was experienced, which in the Maasai community is viewed as something like that. When something like that happens, a very big person in the community would sleep for eternity, and that was William Ole Ntimama. Yesterday we saw the Requiem Mass being held at the All Saints Cathedral here in Nairobi. Various dignitaries also attending, members from the government, from the political divide, made way to the All Saints Cathedral, and today they've all gone to Narok County to pay their last respects to William Ole Ntimama, who died on the 1st of September at the age of 84. This was and still is a huge blow to those of the Ma community, but the country at large, because most of those who've given their condolences and their messages to him have eulogized him as a leader who fought for the rights of those in the Ma community, their human rights. When it came to matters to do with lands, he is said to have been on the forefront of the fight for the dignity of the people of the Maasai community, and for a very long time, for decades, who was viewed as the de facto leader of those in the Maasai community. Some of the decisions that he made were many Maasais followed that wave that he directed them towards, and it is certainly a big loss for those in the Maasai community. Currently on your screen, those are elders from the Maasai community addressing the crowd, many of them using the Maasai language. Of course, thousands have made way to Narok County. The burial is said to have cost about 33 million. Bulls were slaughtered, and the other day we saw a ritual where a bull without blemish was or an animal without blemish was slaughtered in honor of the Ma King, former Minister William Ole Ntimama. And of course we will be bringing you more details on the same. Our reporter Victor Ogale is on the ground, and he will be bringing us more details on how the burial ceremony of the former Minister William Ole Ntimama is ongoing in Narok County. All right, from there, controversial law scholar Professor Makau Mutua was this morning interviewed for the position of Chief Justice. Professor Makau was interviewed on a variety of issues touching on his suitability to become the head of the judiciary. The fight against corruption in the judiciary and reforms were among highlights of what he seeks to do at the helm of the judiciary. Let's just take a look, beg your pardon, of how it went down in the morning.
Personally, I think 14 days is not enough. The problem with that requirement is that it's a constitutional question, and amending it is a Herculean task. So there's a problem there.
Okay, let me now ask you the question.
Yes.
In respect of that petition. There is a statement which has given you some concern. And I think you made that statement in 2013. You repeated it in November 2015. And you said, you know, you have the right to disagree, dissent is okay, alternative view. There must have been a context, or there must have been something which you are of concern or which offended you. Because if it is in respect of the Raila versus Huru, a winner or a loser, both of them are justified, one of them to celebrate, the other one to be dissatisfied.
Sure.
The winner does not declare himself
The winner.
the winner.
Yes. True.
So, was it a misguided missile, or was it a fair comment, or that it was misconceived? What was the context?
So I think, let me just say that, let me go to the petition itself, because I think that's what you're asking. I think that
Before you go to, I will ask you a specific question on the petition. I'm asking you about the statement first. Comment on the statement first.
No.
The context.
It was not misguided at
Yes.
all. You know, the statement is a well-thought-out statement. As I said before, it was a statement I made as a private citizen, looking at my government and expressing a view about it. The statement itself is not illegal. It's an expression of a free thought by a free citizen in a democratic state. As I said before, you know, in any state, meaning country, people have different views about their leadership, and people express those views. I expressed my view about the leadership at the time because I was convinced that I was right. So I don't take it back. I don't. I simply think that time has moved, you know, and we're in a different context now. The cases at the ICC have been dismissed. So part of that concern that I had, you know, is addressed by that dismissal of the cases. If the cases were still ongoing, I would have concern. You know, but the cases were gone. I think in terms of governance, there are some things that I would like to see happen in this country. I would like to see the government of the day address corruption, address insecurity, you know, do many things so that it can earn my loyalty. I'm a citizen after all.
Okay, Professor, now let's go to specifics about the Raila petition.
Yes.
Tell us 3 issues or 3 areas which were of concern to you and how you would intend to improve as a Chief Justice.
Yes.
And if there are none, you can tell me there are none.
Yeah, no, that's quite okay. Like I said, I think it was a rushed opinion. And that is not to impugn the integrity of the judges. It's to say that they had a very short window with which to work. I think, but I think they got it wrong within that short window. But I also think they got some things right. Just before I say what is wrong. I think, for example, they opened a presidential petition to the cameras. That's huge. It's a very sensitive issue. They let the cameras in. In many countries, that will be a closed issue. So that's a fantastic thing that happened. Secondly,
All right, law scholar Professor Mombasa Road still being interviewed for the position of Chief Justice by the Judicial Service Commission. Get back to that top story we have at this hour, and that definitely is the quest to fill the vacant position of Chief Justice. And the 12th person to be interviewed is a law scholar, Professor Mombasa Road, who's currently being interviewed by the Judicial Service Commission at the Supreme Court. Let's just cross over there live and listen in. And of course, our reporter Michelle Ngele will be joining us later on for more updates on how the interview was conducted. Let's just take a look at the interview right there.
I was also, I should add, disappointed by the way the Supreme Court managed the petition. I forgot to add this. Managed the petition.
Okay, let's move now.
Yes.
There is an issue also which you had a discussion with my brother Justice Michelule.
Yes.
On Article 27.
Article 27.
Of the Constitution.
Yes.
And you put a lot of premium on the issue of equal protection,
yes.
Non-discrimination.
Yes.
If you go to Article 11,
yes.
The Constitution of the Republic of Kenya recognizes culture as the foundation of the nation.
What you're reading, Article 11?
Article 11, yes.
Yes, yes. Culture?
Yes.
Yes.
And Article 45
yes.
deals with marriage.
Yes.
And it recognizes marriage in the form of tradition, religion, religious systems, or personal or family law.
Yes.
Article 25, Article 45 also deals with, recognizes and protects family values.
Yes.
And it says clearly, marriage is the union of two persons of opposite sex.
Yes.
What is your view on the issue of gays and lesbianism in the clear provisions of Article 45, 11, and 27, and in fact that equal treatment means different things, especially if you change your status as a result of your choice,
yes,
and as a result of what you believe is right, but the society, culture, and values has been specifically and categorically protected.
Yes.
Do you still believe that the Constitution protects and that there is the issue of non-discrimination against gays and lesbians, unions?
Yes, Judge. Let me preface by saying that this is a speaking constitution. So the statement that a provision is clear, must be interpreted in the context of a dynamic document. And especially on issues on which Kenyans have disputes. That's number one. And I would say to you that the question of LGBTI persons in our society is one of those issues on which there's dispute. Okay?
I must. In Bomas, where you and I were,
yes,
there were 3 questions that were beyond dispute. One was the death penalty. People like you and me wanted to abolish the death penalty.
We still do.
The public refused. The other issue was this issue of LGBT. We debated it, and the public refused it. The third issue was abortion. So it is not true that what was captured by accident. It is that the majority refused it. Now, you and I can continue to have a conversation.
Which we will.
Thank you, AG. I thought that's what I was saying. The Constitution is very clear.
So can I respond?
I'm satisfied. I will go to the next question. Let us open Article 163.
163.
Yes.
And there?
Yes. And it says the Supreme Court shall be properly constituted for purposes of proceedings if it is composed of 5 judges.
Yes.
What, in your view, does that article mean in terms of substantive and procedural resolution of matters that are filed before the Supreme Court?
As I said, that the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of the Constitution. It is not a frivolous institution. It is not just any other court or arm of government. When the Supreme Court speaks, Kenyans must know that it has spoken with validity, with legal validity. There can be no question as to whether the Supreme Court was speaking with its full power and force.
Prof, I want to interrupt you again. I wish you can just answer the question.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
please come to the question.
Yeah. But this is part of the answer, Madam Chair. So this is only a majority of the court, in my view, a majority of the court can speak for it. In this particular case, the framers thought that it should be majority plus 1. And I think the question there is,
No, Professor, whether you are getting my question.
yes, no, I'm getting the question.
The question is whether other than what the Constitution is stating
Yes,
as a bench of 5,
yes,
whether the court or a single judge or a 2-judge bench
yes,
or 3-judge bench
yes.
have powers to resolve or determine an issue which is substantive or which is procedural.
No.
That is the
that's
point
what I was saying.
Yes.
I was just simply saying that a single judge or a 2-judge bench has no power at all to resolve a substantive issue, but they can. Or
All right,
2-judge bench.
the interview of the position, to fill the position of Chief Justice ongoing. Law scholar Professor Makau Mutu on the hot seat there, being interviewed by the Judicial Service Commission. We will continue bringing you the live updates as they happen from the Supreme Court. Makau Mutu is the 12th out of the 13 or 14 who were shortlisted for the position of Chief Justice.